everybody. I'm Katie Knight and welcome back to Can You Put Me on Guest List. I am really, really excited to share this next episode with you with Hannah Wants, who was just so lovely to talk to. Back in December, Hannah decided to move over to Ibiza with her gorgeous dog, Ivor, to reset and work on herself after a really, really difficult year that she had last year. As many of you will already know, at the start of 2020, Hannah was re-diagnosed with breast cancer after being diagnosed the first time in 2017. A couple of months after being diagnosed for the second time, COVID hit, which obviously complicates any situation. So in this podcast, we talk about that time for her and the effects that it had on her mental health and how she is taking control of her well-being to overcome such a challenging time. We also spoke about how making music has been a big part of her healing process and the music that she's been working on, the relaunch of her label Etiquette, how she's been enjoying the island so far, and much more. Hannah was just so down to earth, so open about what she's been through, and I left her house feeling really inspired by her, really motivated, and just very grateful that I had the chance to sit down and spend some time with her. So I really hope you enjoy this chat. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast, and thank you so much for listening. This is the amazing Hannah Wants here on Can You Put Me on Guest List. Hannah, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. This is so nice to leave my house for once and come to this beautiful home.
And be face to face with somebody.
And to be face to face. I know all of my podcasts over the last year have just been over Zoom. So it's actually nice to sit and see somebody for once.
To talk to someone the proper way.
Exactly.
Thank you for asking me and thank you for coming as well.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure. I was just saying to you before I started telling you, I am convinced that I have interviewed you before must have been around 2013, 2014. I was presenting for Amnesia TV and you were playing Together. And I remember you coming off the main stage and I was either waiting for you to come off to interview and it either did or it didn't happen, but I am like 95% sure that it happened, but I was trying to look for the video and I can't find it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to get in those archives, don't you, and find it. It's a possibility, because I was doing Together and Amnesia quite regularly back then.
You were, yeah.
That's a long time ago.
I know, it was.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I'll try, if I find it, I'll send it to you.
For nostalgia purposes, send it over.
How's your time been here in Ibiza?
Amazing. Very grateful that I got here. I was kind of leaving England just as things were kind of taking a step up in terms of all the, restrictions and things. So extremely grateful to be here. It's a nicer place to be right now. So, it's Ibiza. And you know what? I've never actually been coming to Ibiza, been DJing Ibiza for over 10 years. I think this is my 11th year now and never been here in the winter. So it has been unreal to come here and just see the flip side of the island.
I was going to say to you, have you experienced Ibiza in the winter? It's different, isn't it?
Never, ever, ever. It's so bizarre. First of all, the bars and restaurants and just that kind of, even they would be open right now, but they're not. So there's that kind of difference. But just walking around Ibiza and not seeing tourists and not hearing, the thud of their music, always in the background. It's just so bizarre, but so beautiful. It's really nice to come here and have that kind of tranquility,
Yeah, I've seen you've been exploring beaches.
Yes, it is my mission to kind of go to, when I see a sign, because the island's so small, see the sign, just tick it off the list, isn't it? So I'm getting there and seeing some beautiful places, but I've got so much more to do. Only just started.
I know, there's so many beaches that sometimes I even I've lived here permanently for 7 years and there's sometimes even beaches where I'm like, I've never heard of that beach before.
You'll have to tell me if there's any hot spots that I do need to go to,
And now is the perfect time, as you were saying before, because you literally get there and there's nobody there.
I went to, is it Calador? It's literally just down the road. Esvedra, I'm obsessed with Esvedra anyway. I went in the morning I had the beach to myself, and I was thinking, shall I go swimming? Like, I could just get naked, like I can do whatever. There was nobody there. It was amazing, you know, because those kind of beaches would be absolutely rammed normally. And I'm not a fan of being in big crowds anyway, but honestly, the beauty and just the silence is just insane. Love it.
In Calador, there is a really nice restaurant that do the best paella that you have to go to.
I've been asking all my friends that are here at the minute. I've been saying, I'm not going to say it in a Spanish way, like we say paella. Paella. I've been wanting the best or just a good vegetarian paella here, and obviously I've been struggling because restaurants have shut. So if you've got any recommendations for delivery or I can go and collect it, let me know.
I definitely do.
Honestly,
I'm going to give you some after.
It's been on my mind since I've been here, but I haven't actually had one.
So
Tried and failed in Ibiza town once. Went round wandering and everywhere was closed.
Yeah, sometimes some of these, like, they're a bit like touristy traps, aren't they? The ones in Ibiza town. But yeah, up here, there's some really good ones. So I'll send you some.
Hit me up with the recommendations, thank you.
What else have you been doing since you got here?
Trying to get a good balance, you know, figure out a new routine, stay sane, you know. I am very blessed to be here. I do love it. But when I did come out here, I didn't envisage that they would shut down all the borders. So, you know, I'd had planned that my family, my sister was going to come out. My best friend, another best friend who works for me, she was going to be coming out frequently so we could, you know, just do work stuff. We could party, you know, with my friends. And so all of that social side of things has been cut off. So that's been a bit difficult, but still counting on my blessings. You know, I'm able to work on myself and work on music out here. Mad inspired, you know, like it's just beautiful, do you know what I mean? So working on me, working on music and working on kind of the future when I hope, you know, things do start back up again, you know.
When did you and why did you decide to actually move over?
So it was a Monday morning, a very cold, wet, windy Monday morning at home, start of November. And I was on Instagram actually, and I saw somebody post and somebody was in Ibiza, and it was just one of those light bulb moments. It just went ding, and I was like, why am I here? Go to Ibiza. You know, the first time I've been DJing for over 10 years, the first time in my entire career that I can tell you what I haven't got a gig this month or next month or the month after. So if there was ever a time, and it's just never going to be possible again for me to go and base myself in a different place, it was now or never. And 2020 was a difficult year, you know, and I just thought I'm in the position to have that freedom to go. I'm taking advantage of that and I'm getting out of here. So that day, made the plan, wrote it down. I've still got the Pages document on my laptop, and I mapped out how I was going to get there over Christmas, booked it, packed it, fucked off. It was literally just like that.
And you were here for Boxing Day?
Yes, yeah, travelled over Christmas. I wanted to make use of the empty roads over Christmas. You know, it was me and Ivor. Ivor, for anybody that doesn't know, is my dog, my baby, my four fur baby, is that what people call them?
So cute.
My son. So it's just me and him, and I just thought, we just travel for Christmas, you know, woke up in France Christmas morning. I made a huge error. You know, when you obviously assume that services, etc., are going to be open, coronavirus plus Christmas, I can tell you that services aren't open. I had no hot food, like, not complaining, 3 days, and I'd only packed in my bag all of the Christmas snacks, you know, Haribo's, chocolates. Thankfully, I'd boiled four eggs, and I lived off boiled eggs and chocolate for 3 days whilst I travelled over because I couldn't find anywhere open, you know, it was minimal. But that aside, it was an amazing trip, no problems at borders, got here, cried driving to, it was so emotional getting off that ferry, driving to my villa.
Isn't that the best feeling? I know that exact feeling because I've experienced that feeling, like that getting off. Did you have a really early morning one, or did you have the 1 p.m. one?
I had the 12 o'clock. The 12 o'clock one. I did want it. In fact, it was meant to be the 9 a.m. one, but they literally just messaged me a couple of days before, and the time had been pushed back. And Ibiza is just such a special place to me. 2020 was a tough year personally, and for everybody. and coming here is somewhere that, you know, it just means so much. And that's why I just got off, and it was just too much. I just thought, it's time to heal now. You know, that's why I come here, you know, beautiful place to heal. And it was just, it's just incredible, you know. I love this place, and I love the energy here, you know.
Let's talk a little bit about your difficult year last year.
One for the books.
You were re-diagnosed with breast cancer after having been diagnosed back in 2017. And from what I've understood and read, you made a lot of changes in your life, in your lifestyle after going through the first battle. So I can only imagine how hard it must have been for you to go through it all over again, especially mentally. And on top of that, COVID hit, which obviously doesn't help any situation. You've also been very publicly open about both of your journeys, the first and the second time, to raise awareness, help other people, and also, I guess, to heal yourself as well and to write about it. So I'd like you to talk a little bit about this second journey, especially with everything that's been going on, and how you've really taken control of your health and your well-being to overcome such a challenging time in your life.
So yeah, last year was by far, and 2017 was difficult for me on a personal level anyway. I think I was only 29, 30 when I was first diagnosed. So that in itself in 2017 is a world-turning moment. And I did, you know, I was open about declining conventional methods aside from surgery, you know, and I wanted to go down the more kind of natural, holistic treatment paths. And I'm glad I did that. I made huge changes to my life. I never used to live right. You know, I would tour and barely sleep for 10 days. I'd be flat. You know, I just didn't look after me. I thought I was invincible. Didn't eat well, didn't sleep well. You know, I didn't appreciate or look after me or my body. You know, it was just work. So after 2017, made a huge amount of changes and felt really comfortable and felt happier, healthier and stronger than I ever have done, which is why last year in 2020 in February, the re-diagnosis was even more difficult than the first one, because I was just so confident, you know, that I'd done the right thing and I was happy and healthy. You know what I mean? I was in a much better state on all levels at that point. So it come as a huge shock. Now, no one can ever tell me why, or, you know, cancer is such a huge subject and no cancer is the same. So you can only kind of soul search and try and come to your reasonings. But it was a huge moment for me. And you're right in that happened in February. The next month, coronavirus happened, and so that shut down my DJing. At the end of the day, is my love, my passion, what I do, who I see myself as. It keeps me busy, you know, it's my purpose, you know. So then in 2017, even though I was going through all that trauma with the cancer diagnosis, I had my passion, you know, and I was still travelling after my surgery. You know, I was still travelling around and keeping my mind busy and, you know, getting it fulfillment via gigs. This time it didn't happen. It was the diagnosis in February. Coronavirus shut everything down. Thankfully, I managed to do my UK and Ireland tour. So it was actually the 2 weekends just before everything just shut down. So I was super grateful for that. But then touring stopped. And then I actually had one of the worst relationship breakups that you can ever imagine in July. So within 6 months period, I had the cancer diagnosis, the sudden stop of my passion, my income. You know, everybody's gone through, everyone can understand that, how difficult that would have been. And then a really difficult, it was in the national papers. It was, you know, the lies, betrayal. It was just the worst. It could have made a movie. It was that bad. So it was, last year was by far the most difficult time, by far the most difficult year of my life. One of the reasons why I've come out here to heal from that, to heal from the year, you know, it was a lot. I have made more changes now. You know, I had some more surgery. I declined chemo. That's something that just doesn't sit with me personally. And, you know, I speak to a lot of people that have had cancer and a lot of people who know people close to them who have had cancer. And I just want to express how individual a cancer journey is. You know, just because I'm here advocating a natural holistic route doesn't mean that that's the way that everybody, you should follow your gut and, you know, what your soul is telling you to do, and that's what I've done. And for me personally, I just don't agree with chemo, so I declined that. Had some more surgery, accepted radiotherapy because it was just kind of localised to one area. I knew I was healthy, I would be juicing alongside and eating well, so did that. Actually sailed through that, and now I'm back on my natural holistic route where, you know, I have my I eat organically. I have a juice and a smoothie every day with lots of supplements. I have blood tests, you know, every few months to monitor certain levels, adapt supplements to do that. Make sure I work out every day, yoga, energy work, you know, all of these kind of things. Now I can just, what I was doing before, but fine tuning things and, you know, and continuing on with my journey and back to a stage now where, I'm fine, no evidence of disease, and now I have to crack on with just as everybody else does, really, in the hope that, you know, I don't have to deal with that again. So fingers crossed, it is what it is. And
it's amazing news. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
for you.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice for anybody that is maybe going through the same thing, or anybody that's living with somebody that's maybe going through the same thing or something similar?
Research, number one, just follow, and listen to your instinct. You know, you have a lot of people, a lot of doctors who tell you what is the right thing to do. And, you know, my experience is going into the doctor's, you know, office, is that the right word? And
I don't know what the word.
Doctor room. And they, you know, often thrown a load of percentages. If you do this, you might die here. If you don't do this, you might. And it's just, I don't see myself as a percentage. And whilst that's the only way that, you know, such a huge board as in the NHS can calculate things, I'm not a percentage. And there are huge variants of people's, you know, willpower, people's diets, people's will to live, people, you know, just everything. And so I found it difficult to be just categorised as a percentage. So just listen to yourself. You don't need to, doctors aren't always right. I mean, respect, love doctors for what they do, but which it's just a case of go away, take everything that they've said on board, but go away and do your own research, speak to people who have been in similar situations. There are other things that you can do alongside or instead of things, cannabis oils, Reiki, acupuncture. There's just so much that you can do. Even if you're going to go down the conventional route or pick and mix little bits, you just have to find that package and make yourself. At the end of the day, cancer is... You've got an overly toxic body, which most of us do have living in today's life. So it's a case of detox yourself, mind, body, spirit, not just in one aspect, and just live a better life. You know, it's the best and worst thing that ever happened to me, because a cancer diagnosis really, really changes the future for your life, you know, and you become extremely appreciative of things just for life. You know, I mean, it's my mom's birthday the other day. I think she was 56, 57. And I'm just like, congratulations on 57 years of life. You know, like I would love that. You know, it's just appreciating it. It really does bring things back to a core and makes you appreciate things.
I read somewhere as well that you've been doing a lot of music recently as well. Has that been a big part of your healing process as well? Yes, it has actually. And ironically enough, well, it's not ironically, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? But some of the best music you make is when you are, you know, either in love or going through pain. Yeah. And obviously, not much of my music is that on that kind of emotive level, but I've been able to work with one of the blessings from the coronavirus situation,
work with a variety of vocalists and different artists. And one vocal that I received, her name's Clementine Douglas. She's actually a Brummie as well, by the way. So got sent a huge folder of her vocals, and it was the first one that I listened to. And oh my God, like I had it on repeat and was just crying. Like I just knew it resonated with me so hard. And every time I post clips of the track, we ended up turning it into an absolute banger, if I do say so myself. I've never had my phone pop off whenever I put up a clip. Never had my phone pop off my inbox saying, when's it released, and just asking questions. So that that's going to come from, the bad situation. Yeah. But most definitely coronavirus, the heartache, and not being, travelling. One of the good things to come out of that is a multitude of music that I just would never have made otherwise, with different artists and style-wise, because, I would tell people you shouldn't make music for a specific purpose. You should always be true to yourself. But if I'm honest, I'm guilty of pre-corona trying to make music for dance floors and not really exploring other sounds. Yeah. Whereas now I've had over a year delving into different subgenres underneath the huge, amazing genre of house music, and that, along with working with different artists and being able to have access to, great writers and vocalists, has really elevated my productions. And if there's one great thing to come from what's happened last year, it's going to be my productions moving forward.
I think a lot of artists are probably in the same position as well, that they're just not making music now for the dance floor. I can't remember who it was the other day, and I want to say Scream, and he tweeted something like, for the first time in my life, I feel like the producer I've always wanted to be. I'm sure that a lot of artists, though, all of a sudden, it's like giving them this time to really find themselves and create and try different things and different sounds and collaborate with different people.
It's been liberating. Another blessing is that I signed a publishing deal with Ultra, and it's via them that I've been able to kind of get access to a whole host of, producers and writers and vocalists, etc. So that's opened up a whole new just area that I've never had access to do. So it's been a few different contributing factors, but together, like you say, I've just been able to sit there and make music that just makes, gives me goosebumps, that I'm not thinking about the dance floor, that will translate well. But when we do go back, I don't think things will be the same. Music and the styles that, people are going to be playing, it's going to be a little bit different, but that should make it amazing. People are going to come with some unique, people might have changed a little bit, people might have changed a lot, but you'll see with my productions how I think my sound has matured, definitely, and just improved. The quality, I think, is going to be improved in my future production.
Speaking of Ultra, you've just released Lift Off. Tell us a little bit about the story. Did you make that here in Ibiza?
No. So that was it? I'm going to say about a year ago. Around about the time, that was the first track that I actually made with Ultra, well, via Ultra, because Nathan Nicholson was, again, one of the vocalists that, it's like Christmas. They just send me folders of different vocals and artists, and I can just sit there and just go through them, and I can just close my eyes, and then it's just one that just goes ding. And that was one of them. Nathan Nicholson, it was a great vocal to work with, and really happy with how it came out in the end. You know what I mean? It was something that just flowed pretty quickly and easily, to be honest. I mean, I haven't met him in person, and I would love to meet him. We've spoken, but great process. Really love the record. Wish I could play it in clubs. It is what it is. It is what it is.
What else have you been working on? Is there anything you can share with us? Or?
So, for the first time, another, going back to the great, I say it's the great things, probably one of the only great things for me to come out of this, but just in terms of the music, because I would always kind of prioritise DJing, that's my go-to. Productions were a back step for me, do you know what I mean? It was something that I did, not because I had to, but I just didn't have the time to. I didn't make the time to sit there and indulge myself in it. You know what I mean? And the ultra access to all of these amazing people. So because I've been able to make loads of music now for the first time in 10 years, I've actually got a full release schedule, which is standard for most DJ producers, but for me, never had it. So I think I've got, what month are we in now? I'm not even, I don't know what day it is, I don't know what month it is, I can't tell you anything. Have you just had to look at this though?
I just had to look, yeah. No idea.
So I've got a record out called Oh Really, which is a club record that was actually made pre-corona, and I have actually played that in a club, memories, like the old days. So that's coming out via Armada next month. I've got a collaboration with Ilias and Berrientos that's coming out in, I think that's April as well, actually. And it was a take on a classic track. Remember Red Carpet, All Right? You know, everything's going to be all right. I was listening to that track and I was like, oh my God, the vocal felt so fitting now, you know, everything's going to be okay. So started working on something, sent it over to the boys. They loved it. Then they put their spin on it. So that's something I'm really looking forward to putting out. Again, it's the same kind of thing, but just being able to collaborate with different you know, producers that I would never have collaborated with Ilias and Berrientos, you know, prior, probably not anyway. Jess Bays is another one who I've collaborated with. Escouche, I've got collaborations with him coming out. Mian, who actually lives in Ibiza, you know, just so many people. What else have I got coming out? So, Oh Really, Ilias and Berrientos, Jess Bays collab. I've got a 4 or 5 track EP coming out on my record label later this year. I think it's going to be a 4-track EP on Ultra later this year. There's just so much happening. I'm actually making music now for 2022, which is just insane for me. I've never been in this position, and again, that's a good thing where I can just relax with the music rather than be trying to make something, to release something. You know, so many lessons have been learned, and I'm just really excited for people to hear what's going to come out.
Have you been making a lot of music here in Ibiza?
A little bit, sketching lots of ideas. The first kind of 4 weeks, I didn't really have anything set up. It was my mission I had to build, because I'm out here on my own, I've had to find all the materials that I need and literally handcraft myself a DJ booth because I wanted to set up the stream. So it took me a few
You did that?
Few weeks. I did that.
That's
everything.
Amazing, Hannah.
Got the sticker. I actually got the desk from IKEA. I didn't have electronic, I don't even know what you call them, tools to put holes in things. So I used a screwdriver and was banged a hole through the desk, and then got a little saw and sawed a little thing for the wires. So it took me a while to set up on that, but now I'm kind of sketching ideas and stuff, and I'm going to be making some great music out here. It's just mad, just looking out to here. I just sit here and I'm just trying to not much making gets done. I'm just sat looking and just appreciating, but...
Well, for everyone that's listening, the views up here are insane. The sky right now is blue, orange, yellow, pink. You can see the sea, just surrounded by nature. So I'm sure stunning. Just with these views and these surroundings, it'll be so easy to get creative.
I've been obsessed with Black Coffee since I've been here. I love him anyway, but I've been delving more into his back catalogue, and a lot of my, ideas and music that I've been making now, has been kind of influenced by him. And I do believe, I know I'm going to say it, of course I'm going to say it, but I do believe it's going to be the best stuff that I've ever released, by far.
Exciting times.
It is.
You mentioned also about your label, Etiquette?
Etiquette, yeah.
Etiquette?
Yeah.
Because you know what, when I read that, when I read in English sometimes, I read it as if it's Spanish, so I end up being etiquette.
Etiquette, yeah. You need to teach me. You know what, we can speak Spanish, we can stay in contact, and can you teach me some Spanish?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I need to be fluent. I've learned so much since I've been here, but I know we're digressing now, aren't we? But I do really want to significantly improve my Spanish.
Now's the time.
Perfect time,
yeah. Definitely. No, we'll do it for sure.
Should we try and continue this in Spanish? Yeah. I'm just saying, don't.
Bueno, hola, Hannah.
Switch.
So you've just recently relaunched the label.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to relaunch it now? What was your thought process behind it, and what's new?
If I'm honest, I fell out of love with the branding, the identity.
Right.
There was a reason to it when we started the label in 2018. I think I've learned a lot in the first 2 years of what I do want, of what I don't want. And I really wanted to kind of, especially with not having the clubs to release the music, I thought it was best to kind of take a little back step from the releasing. I mean, there was no pressure to be releasing anything. And I wanted to level up this year on all levels. So I wanted to really strengthen the brand identity, which I really believe we've done. Got Marie, who I work with a lot. She is phenomenal. So the rebrand went great. And just took a few months to hunt some new music down, you know, and put myself and the label in a position where we're not chasing music and we've got, you know, the year planned out ahead.
Yeah.
So it was just take some time away, look at what we've done from the past 2 years. What did we do right? What did we do right? And then level up, ready to go again. So
Is that Marie French Marie?
yes, of course it is.
What a sweetheart. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is ink. She doesn't do. We don't even need to bounce stuff back. I just say it,
And she does
and
it.
she just does it, and I'm just like, wow, she's incredible,
She
so
is.
talented.
She is so talented. So
Yeah.
what have you got coming up on the label?
So we've just released last week was Escouche. You know, I say Escouche. I hope it's not Escuche. I never know how to say his name.
I say escuche, but again, because it's
Spanish, yeah. Well, I'm Spanish now, so Escuche.
Escuche.
Escuche released. He's actually one of my favourite producers, and he's a real kind of firm family favourite at the label. Love his productions. So we just released a 2-track EP from him last week. I think Joe Iglesias is up next, another great producer. Been trying to find, you know, some up and coming producers as well. I found a guy called 18 Keys back home, really good music. So we're just kind of wrapping up the B-side to that. Evan Duthie or Duthie, I'm not sure, Spanish or English.
It depends how you say it.
Another guy who's been kind of simmering for a while, managed to bag, I think it's a 2 or 3 track EP. So getting a nice host of known names and up and coming names. I think some of the known established names: Miguel Bastida, Lorenzo de Blanc, Joe Iglesias. Gosh, there's who else? There's a
Lot of good artists there.
They're a nice variation, and we're not kind of pigeonholing ourselves into just tech house. Do you know what I mean? Especially under this current climate, I'm going to be releasing, you know, more deep house, and we've even got one track that I wouldn't say it's progressive house, but it just kind of doesn't really sit into tech or deep, or, you know, just a really nice variety of artists and music's going to be coming. Really excited for it. I'm really proud of it now that we've leveled up the branding as well.
When you get into the studio and like you're not feeling so creative that day, what do you do? Is there anything that you do, like if you're mentally blocked and you're like, I don't really know where to go with this, what do you just leave it?
I don't do anything. I've always been that type, and like when pre-corona, it was never my full kind of priority or focus anyway, you know, wrongly or rightly so. Maybe I should have put more time into it, but DJ's always been my passion.
Yeah.
I've always focused on that. So if things aren't flowing and I don't have an idea, it's simple. I just get up and I have other, you know, businesses or other work I can be doing, or I'll go and work out, or especially here, or I'll just go, you know, there's just so much I can always be doing something, so I won't try and force anything, not just production. I won't force anything. If it's not working, you know, I'll leave it simmering in my brain, go do something else.
What advice would you give somebody that's starting or thinking about starting a label?
Good question. I would say be mindful of what you release, and I would say that from a personal perspective as well, because if I could go back and edit my back catalogue, I would, you know what I mean? Like, I think once you put something out, whether it's you personally or your label, it's out there forever, and even though you want to be at the forefront and you want to release and you want to be active, it could actually be counterproductive if it's not right, you know. And I'm guilty of that myself personally. And if I could look back at the label, I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have released, you know, lots of things on etiquette that we didn't. I'm just saying you've just got to be extremely specific with what you want, because once it's out, it's out. So that and making sure you've got a really strong brand identity. There are so many labels out there now, so much competition. You have to stand out from the crowd, and you can't fuck around with or undercut things like logos and branding, because that's what is ultimately part of the credibility of the label. You know, things can look sick or look cheap, or, you know, it matters. So as much as it should be about the music, it's business, do you know what I mean? So it's got to look good, and just be confident with what you're putting out, and don't rush, you know, think things take time, be proud of what you put out.
I love what you said about once it's out there, it's out. Because when I was trying to look for this video the other day doing the interviews, I was like, oh my God, some of these interviews are awful.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Why did I even ask that stupid question?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, what did I have to do? I went to look at my stream on YouTube the other day, and obviously a couple of other interviews come up, and I'm the same. I'm like, oh, no, we won't, just skip past that. But it's the same. It's just be mindful that when things go out nowadays with YouTube and the internet, it's there for good. And I wish I could take a couple of things off my Spotify back catalogue. I can't, you know, so it's lessons learned.
You have also recently started your live stream series, what we were just talking about before, What Hannah Wants.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the idea behind it.
So, got here, and obviously I haven't DJ'd for a year now, coming up to a year. I miss it. I love it. I didn't really do many streams last year. I don't know why. I just didn't. I do know why.
Streams?
You know, of course I prefer people being in front of me. And I do know why I didn't do it last year, because obviously all that shit happened because of the cancer, because of the relationship, and because of, you know, it was just a tough year. So my mind really wasn't on doing live streams and stuff. But here, perfect place. I miss connecting with people more than anything. I want people to know what I'm making at the minute, what I'm playing, what's coming out on Etiquette. I want to be able to connect with, I want to be able to play music. Yeah. So I just thought, got here, mission, What Hannah Wants. Why not do a stream series where I can have different kind of beautiful backdrops? I mean, I hope people can come to Ibiza this year, but it's still up in the air, isn't it? And if I can just even offer a nice view and a good bit of music for an hour, then
I'll come.
Then it's a vibe, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I want people to be at home, and if they want to listen what I'm up to, or if they're partying in their houses, or, you know, whatever they're doing, I want people to be able to, if they want to connect with me, or if they just want a good hour and a half or 2 hours of music, I want people to just be able to access it. So
do you find that, like, obviously with everything that's been going on and, you know, doing live streams and stuff, do you feel like you can connect more with your fans? Because I guess, like, sometimes when you play at a club, like, that's the end of the gig, that's it, you don't really get to well, I don't know if sometimes you do get to hang around and stay with them, speak to them, whatever. But now, obviously, online, you can stream, people can message you at the same time, you can have a chat. Do you feel like you have felt more of a stronger connection? Or
I'm going to say no, only because I'm like a one-man band, because my best friend and my assistant or my team, or no part of my team can come out. I'm doing it all myself, so I can't be connecting whilst I'm DJing anyway. And there's just nothing that will ever beat people being in front of you. It doesn't, you know, whether I stay after or not. I mean, I do when I can. But you don't even need to speak to people to connect in a dance floor. You know, I can be, you know, eye contacting the person at the back of the dance floor, and we've had that connection. Do you know what I mean? So definitely not. But it's the best that I can do, and it's something that I'm enjoying doing. And on top of that, what I want to do is do different theme sets, something that I can't do in clubs. Obviously, when I go and play a peak time set, I can't go and play an Ibiza classic set. Whereas here, I want to be able to kind of explore and show different genres and subgenres that have, you know, shaped me, moulded me, that inspire me. So, for example, 2010 to 2013 Deep House, when I first used to come out to the island, huge era for Deep House, by far. It's untouchable in my opinion. I want to do a 2010 to 2013 Deep House set. I want to do an Ibiza Classics set. I want to be able to just do all of these different things, and which I just wouldn't be able to do in a club or if I was touring. You know, I want to put together just a nice series, and I want to do some back-to-backs, like Lindsay Matthews lives out here, Mian lives out here, Rafa Barrios, who I think he lives in Sevilla. You know, so I'm talking to people, and people are interested in coming here and, you know, and filming back-to-back sets with me. So it's just something cool, something different, and I can just really kind of explore sounds, and, you know, people can enjoy it.
Perfect place to do it, really, isn't it?
Perfect place.
Is there anything else you're really looking forward to in 2021?
2020. I hope I get to DJ to a crowd. The way that I see it now is I am planning for the worst and I'm hoping for the best. I don't think I'm going to be very active this year. I don't think I'm going to be touring a great deal. So I'm going to focus on myself, focus on, seeing friends, just things that kind of are good for my soul, focus on the music side of things so that when we do start touring again, which I hope is later this year, we'll see, I can be back where I want to be, and that's the decks, That's what I'm looking forward to doing. And you know what? It's just taking every day as it comes, isn't it? Things change every day, every week. Literally. Who knows what's going to be happening is Boris announcing something next week? And even if he does, it doesn't mean shit anyway. So true. So it's just making it through, being the best and happiest that I can be. Everybody's going through tough times right now, and just making it through. And hopefully there's some beautiful raves on the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true though, just taking every day as it comes, like every single morning. That's all sometimes I'll be thinking about, what's going to happen in next week, what's happening next month, and I haven't done this, and what's going to happen with that. And then I'm like, why am I even bothering about thinking about this right now?
Everything's changing. When I first come here, I was thinking, I'll just stay until the 1st of April because I wanted to go to Costa Rica to do some ayahuasca retreat before what we were going to do. We were planning my tour for May, so that was in the diary. And then obviously the tours had to be moved back to September. It's still not looking great for September now, so I think I'm going to stay here for April. So just going what you said, everything's changing week to week. It's best not to plan, especially because I'm so military. If I write it down and I expect things to happen, so I'm trying to just chill, roll with it, and just just try and keep ourselves sane and as happy as possible.
I think I'm getting worse. Like the more time I spend at home, because I've made the most strictest routines that every morning I do the same thing, and then one little thing will happen, it will throw me off, and I'm like, I didn't get my 10-minute meditation in, this whole day's ruined.
I am exactly the same, and because I lived alone, I say alone, with my son, with Ivor, but he can't talk, I only have me to make myself accountable. So I went to Fita and bought myself a board, so I've actually I've checkered this board with all the things that I need to do daily as my accountability board. So I'm literally there psycho crossing, done this, I've done this.
Isn't it the best feeling though, crossing it out?
Yeah, that's why I do it, because I have to. I don't like to see them not crossed out. So I'm keeping busy. I'm happy to be here, and I just hope every day I hope for a miracle that the world can finally be free again.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think are the main things you learnt from 2020?
You know what? Not to take things for granted, the simple things. I would do anything to be in an airport waiting for a delayed plane, and I'll be like, I'd just be smiling.
Babies around you.
Yeah, babies screaming, awful food at airports, and I'm hungover. I'll take any of it. Give me any of that now. One time, I think about 6 months before coronavirus, I think one of my flights was delayed for 9 hours. Give me it. Tell me what airport to go to now. I was sitting there with a smile on my face as long as I know I'm getting on that plane and I'm going to DJ to people, So appreciating the simple things. Of course we shouldn't, taking freedom, for granted, because Absolutely. Nobody ever envisaged what has happened to happen, so it's, I won't whinge about any airport queues. I won't whinge about my trainers getting dirty at festivals. It's really going to give, I think, everybody a sense of full appreciation for the most simplest of things when we go back to some kind of normal,
Yeah, no, it's so true. So true. To end, would you be up for a round of quick fire questions?
Go on then. I'm not the best. I'm just going to tell you in advance I'm not the best at these, but I'll give it my best shot.
All right then. Favourite studio snack?
Anything that's chocolate, but I've waited to answer that question because that's one of the things I'm trying to kick out here. That's one of my battles, to stop wanting chocolate, but chocolate is the studio snack. So chocolate is just the snack straight up anyway, but it's my one thing that I don't want to snack on anymore. So we have a love-hate relationship with the snacks, okay?
Okay.
We'll skip past that question. Yeah.
What would a perfect day look like for you?
Yeah, couldn't it? Right now or any...
Oh, I don't know. Let's just say, no, just in general, just...
Well, in general,
happening.
In general, of course, I'm going to say it would wake up, I would go to the gym, I would go to the airport, I would fly somewhere, or even not, you know what, forget the airports, I'll get in my car, I'll go somewhere in England and I would have a gig that night, I would be with my friends, we would meet up, we would have a good night, I would go and DJ, we would, you know, that would make me the happiest person in the world right now.
I agree. What do you love the most about Ibiza?
So much the energy and the beauty of the place. You get here and you just feel good, you know.
What's Ivor's favourite thing about Ibiza?
You know, he doesn't like the cold, so he's really enjoying the good weather. He's not a swimmer yet, but I am going to be going in the sea and trying to get him in with me. I might get him like a little life jacket. I think that might help him. But Ivor loves the weather here. He's not a fan of the cold, so he's loving the sun. I can be inside working. He'll just take himself out and just lie on the terrace and
sunbathe.
Bless him. Yeah, he sunbathes.
Bless him.
Bless him.
You can get in the studio with anyone. Who would it be?
This is a hard question because I've been in the studio, well, not physically been in the studio, but with so many people that I've always wanted to collaborate with. So I've already ticked a few of those off. You know what? I'm just going to throw this out there. Maya Jane Coles is just legend, and that just links back to she's a huge inspiration for me from the kind of old era deep house. So, and she's goals, man. She's goals.
Something you always have in your fridge.
No, to be fair, I haven't now. I've exchanged chocolates for satsumas. I don't know whether they're satsumas or mandarins or clementines. Are they the same thing?
I don't know. I'm gonna say
You should know. You know.
No,
You're
I
Spanish.
Can't. I can't.
Not Spanish. You have oranges all on the trees here.
I have no idea.
As long as it's the easy peel and you can put your finger in them and peel them easy, it doesn't matter. But so I've exchanged. So that's what's always in my fridge right now because that's my go-to.
You're gonna end up with a Terry's chocolate orange in your fridge, basically.
If I could turn them into one, I would.
The emoji that you use the most.
There's probably three. The love heart one, the crying laughter one, and how can I best describe it? The one that looks like water.
The one that looks like water, yeah.
We'll go with that one, yeah.
Something that you have too many of.
Trainers. Some would argue I have too many trainers. I'm obsessed.
I don't know why I knew you were going to say that.
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
Yeah.
Very impressive.
The weirdest thing that you've been given at a gig?
I'm going to say a bra, underwear. I've been given lots of random things like teddies, letters, so cute, gift vouchers for. They know I went to, I think it was in Texas, and obviously I post about eating healthily and stuff. Yeah. And this girl had given me like a gift card and a voucher to the local organic juice, like just so cute. But the weirdest, I would say, I was playing in Mallorca actually. BCM, so it's no surprise a bra come flying at my head. I think it's the first time that's ever happened. So yeah, a bra. Yeah,
that's so funny.
Old school.
When you said letters at the beginning, I thought you said lettuce, and I was like,
lettuce. I mean, it might happen in the future.
And last question, because this podcast is called "Can You Put Me on Guest List?"
Yeah.
Obviously not now because everything's closed, but in normal times, do you have a guest list rule?
I just like people to be polite. You know, some people won't even put a please on it. Like they come out of the woodwork. Haven't spoken to them for ages and won't even put a please on. Like can't entertain that. Polite and I've got space. I'm all up for it. You know, I have absolutely no problems. You know, we've put in people on guest. In fact, I love being able to do that. Just be polite.
Yeah, just be nice. It's not hard to be nice, guys.
Be polite, put a please on the end if I've got space. All good.
And bring me a bar of chocolate.
Yeah, and that will work as well. Some people have actually done that. And if they bring Ivor toys, well, then it's game over. Then you can come backstage, you can jig with me, dance with me, everything. It's happened before. So yeah. People have bought Ivor. Even in America, people have bought Ivor toys. Super cute. I think people love Ivor more than they love me, but that's absolutely fine because he's king.
Oh,
he's
he
king.
Is too cute.
He's been. I'm sure you can't hear, but he's been crying. You probably can't hear.
Can hear
can you?
Yeah.
He's been crying the entire time.
Oh, bless him.
It's all good.
Right, well, we'll go and give him a cuddle now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hannah, thank you so much. You are a true inspiration. Thank you.
No, honestly, thank you very much for your time and to ask me these beautiful questions. It's been nice for me to kind of socialise as well.
Nice for me as well. Yeah. No, we'll definitely do more together now that you're here in Ibiza. I'd love to spend some more time with you. And yeah, again, thank you so much for your time. And I hope that you enjoy your time here in Ibiza.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yay.